Welcome to Does It Matter by Brainy Ballers, where we dissect the game with cutting-edge analytics to give you the upper hand. We analyze everything from hand sizes to average depth of targets to uncover hidden trends that no one else sees. Say goodbye to guesswork and hello to data-driven domination. Because here at Brainy Ballers, we don't just watch the game, we understand it. So get ready, it's podcast time.
So, you ever wonder how you can really get an edge understanding NFL quarterback success, especially when you're, sizing up those key fantasy football prospects? Well, today, we're going to do a deep dive, use some serious analytical data to maybe give you exactly that. We're tackling a really specific question. Can a quarterback's college completion percentage, can it actually predict their NFL success? This comes from a study, part of a series called Does It Matter? It's all about advanced analytics. So our mission today is basically to unpack what all this number crunching found and really what it means for how you evaluate players.
Right. And just to set the stage a bit, this study was pretty focused. It looked at the top 30 fantasy football finishers each season, going all the way back to 2003. And crucially, they only used a player's career college completion percentage. They made sure to exclude rookie NFL seasons, trying to get a cleaner look at their ability before the pros. Oh, and yeah, when we say bottom 10 during this deep dive, that just means the fantasy guys ranked 21st to 30th each year.
Okay, got it. So they dive into all this data. What's the first thing that jumped out, even before getting into the super deep stats?
Yeah, well, what's interesting is a pattern showed up almost straight away. Get this. In 17 out of the 21 seasons they looked at, that's 80.9%. The top 5 fantasy finishers, on average, had a higher college completion percentage than the guys finishing, 20th to 30th. So that was a pretty strong initial sign they were onto something important.
Okay, 80%, that's definitely compelling for a first look. But how did they go from seeing that general trend to finding a specific number, a benchmark we can actually use? Because that's where it gets really interesting, right?
Exactly. They didn't just stop there. They really dug into the differences, chart by chart, looking for that sweet spot. Initially, they spotted something around 60.9% and up. But after refining it, really verifying it, they landed on this optimal threshold.
Do you want to start dominating your drafts? At BrainyBallers.com, we've researched every metric under the sun for you to find which ones are best linked to fantasy points. You can access hundreds of metrics to sharpen your scouting ability so you know which metrics matter and which are just noise. Stop guessing on which thresholds to look for within each metric. Big numbers can be misleading or irrelevant. Our Ultimate Athlete Blueprints reveal essential scouting metrics, their importance, and benchmarks within each metric that help predict a player's probability of being a success or bust. Elevate your scouting ability with Brainy Ballers' Ultimate Athlete Blueprints today. Click the link in the description. Now back to the show.
60.7% and above. And here's why that number matters to you. QBs hitting that mark in college. They showed up in the top 10 fantasy finishers 37.4% more often compared to those bottom 10 guys.
Whoa, hold on. 37.4% higher appearance rate? That's not just a little trend. That feels like a real edge. So was this just something they observed, like a strong pattern, or did they have, actual statistical proof this wasn't some kind of fluke?
Oh, absolutely. They backed it up statistically. The study calculated a Pearson value of 0.226.
Pearson value. Refresh me quickly.
Right. So Pearson basically measures how strongly two things are related. And 0.226 indicates a pretty strong positive link between college completion percentage and NFL fantasy points. For context, they were hoping for at least 0.1 to say it was significant. So hitting 0.226, that's rock solid.
Okay, rock solid makes sense.
And just for some context, right? Something everyone agrees matters a lot, like a running back's draft capital.
Yeah, how high they were picked in the draft.
Right. That had a Pearson value of negative 0.234.
So this finding, about 60.7%, did it hold up over the years, looking across the decades they studied? Or was it maybe just a thing for a certain era?
Good question. They looked at that too. And yeah, the optimal range, that's 60.7% and up, it stayed relevant as an indicator. Even though they noted its prevalence was maybe slightly declining, the link itself, the correlation, still held significance. It wasn't just a snapshot in time. Okay, so let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here for you listening? Basically, there's a real statistically proven connection between how accurately a QB threw in college and how well they tend to do in the NFL for fantasy. And that magic number seems to be around 60.7% completion or higher.
Right. It's a specific piece of information, that 60.7%, that can genuinely sharpen your player evaluation. And, having the knowledge is one thing, but applying it is where the real value lies.
Absolutely. So here's something to chew on. Does knowing this number, 60.7%, change how you might look at the next hotshot QB prospect coming out, or maybe even make you rethink an established NFL guy who either hit that mark or totally missed it back in college? What other hidden stats might be out there just waiting for a deep dive like this?